want to talk about something really exciting. First, let's not bury the lead, Riley.
Oh, wow.
Let's not bury the lead because
we're
going to go straight in. No foreplay whatsoever. Okay. We're going in straight for this Darth Vader. And I want to share a couple of photos, Riley, but there's one that I found really exciting because this is a little bit different than what we've seen previously. If my screen will actually load it. Let's see here. Let's see if it, oh, that's not even the right one. See, Riley, because Facebook, Melon dude sometimes just doesn't want to cooperate. Let's see here.
Fix some stuff.
I know, man. I'm just going to share this one because I know this one will show me what I want. So
there we go.
Okay, because what I was going to share was the secret base photos of Darth Vader because they showed a photo on secret base. But of course, they go to Tom Holland instead. Anyway, Darth Vader Deluxe, Riley. This is the Darth Vader that a lot of people have been waiting for. This is the Darth Vader from Return of the Jedi that has only been made by Hot Toys in quarter scale up until this point. Now we have a 6 scale version, and people are really, really excited. $345 for the Deluxe, $300 for the Standard. The Deluxe, Riley, comes with this electrocuted LED light-up helmet, and of course the stair base. And yeah, that's mostly it. And then you pay $45 more for that. So Riley, I gotta ask you the question. I'm gonna ask the chat on this one. Is this the ultimate Darth Vader? Because I'm seeing a lot of back and forth between Kenobi Vader and of course this Darth Vader. But I'm not so sure that Kenobi Vader is not the better Vader. But I want to let you go first. And let me know what you think. Is this the ultimate Darth Vader? Because people can't have 6 Darth Vaders, most of us.
Not everyone can have that many Vaders for sure. This Vader, first off, I want to say is amazing. It's a great release. I know so many people have been waiting for that Return of the Jedi version. I mean, when we saw the quarter scale, everyone was like, that's perfect. They just need to shrink it down. This was everyone's #1 prediction for the Return of the Jedi 40th, and we got him as one of the first releases. So yeah, it looks brilliant. Even saying at secret base, really cool. Even the light up electric helmet, even without the light up, it still has a little bit of presence, which I was kind of surprised with. Thought it looked really dead, really dull, but when you have some light on it, actually looks really nice. But obviously, it's going to look a lot better with the light up. But is this the ultimate Vader? That's the best question. It's funny because shout out to the Facebook group, A Place for Collecting. I made a poll saying which is the ultimate definitive Vader, and 55% of people actually voted for the Kenobi Vader. And then I think the Return of the Jedi had like a 34 or 33 or something. So from our group, I know it's not too many people. I think it was like 110 votes. People chose the Kenobi Vader. And honestly, after looking at it, I think just personally to me, I'm still going with it. The Kenobi Vader is the ultimate Vader to me. This is very close to it, though. It is second in command. Because I think with this figure, what's amazing with it is the accessories and stuff it comes with. It's way better, in my opinion, than the Kenobi Vader. Because you get that electric helmet, you get the stair base, you get almost 2 diorama bases. Like, it's pretty impressive with what you're really getting. You get lightning effects, USB saber is also very nice, but overall, I think the Kenobi Vader with that cracked sculpt is just it's something else, man. It really does it for me. I think that's gonna be just so iconic, and I think the outfit itself to this Return of the Jedi is very similar to the Empire Strikes Back, which is the one I have that in my collection. The suit looks very similar to that one, which I was honestly I didn't really know for starters, but I'd say it's still an amazing Vader nonetheless. But this sculpt is killer. Like they shrunk the quarter scale, like people said, like to 6 scale. It's like a 9.5 or a 10. It's amazing. It's really out there, and I love the damage like effects on the top of his head. You can see the damage there. Really awesome from Hot Toys, but nonetheless, I'm going Kenobi Vader because that Vader, just the cracked sculpt, you get the damaged chest box. So many cool things with that figure, and the cracked sculpt with the Hayden Christensen like this. Like you already know, Will, I'm a pretty cool guy, so yeah, I gotta stick to my guns here. I'm saying the Kenobi Vader is the ultimate, but this is not far off. It is second in command. It's a beautiful announcement, but I want to hear what you have to say because I know you also love this Vader as well. So I want to hear what your thoughts, man.
Riley, and this is super tough. And I know there's going to be a crowd out there. So bear with me, guys, on this one and be like, oh, why do we have to choose? Like, they're both great. We can enjoy both. And yes, that is true because both Vaders are exceptional. Both are really, really well done. But the question becomes, how many Vaders do you really want in your collection? And this is one of the most iconic villains and characters of all time. So for a lot of people, it's several, right? Most people might have 2, 3 Vaders, right? But if you're only going to have 2 to 3 Vaders, maybe you already have this Empire Strikes Back one, right? Maybe you already have A New Hope. Maybe you want to sell that and move on, right? This Return of the Jedi Vader is really, really hard to ignore because it is exceptional. It finally gives you a Darth Vader head sculpt, which we had never gotten in 1/6 scale from Hot Toys before. So Riley, the thing that I love about this Kenobi Vader is that it's the most unique Darth Vader. There is
Totally.
no, I mean, I guess you could argue Return of the Jedi is pretty unique too, because it gives you a head sculpt and a light up helmet, whatever. But
Right.
the cracked helmet, I don't think you're ever going to see that again. I don't think that thing is popping up on another show or anything like that. I think this is probably your only chance to get this short of a reissue or a 2.0, right?
Right.
I don't think they're going to be like start slashing Darth Vader's helmet in half every show, right? I don't think they're going to do. I think this was probably a one-off thing because Obi-Wan needed to see Anakin and come to terms with his past and his failure, right? That was the whole point of that scene. But when you look at this Darth Vader, you can also make him a standard Darth Vader if you want, right?
Yeah.
You could just make him sort of almost a new Rogue One Darth Vader. That's kind of more what this looks like. Yeah. So you could make it sort of a Rogue One Darth Vader with him standing there, you know, as he's about to destroy everyone right down that hallway. Right. You can make it that too, or which most people are not. They're going to make it this the cut mask Vader. But you know, it's either way. They're both fantastic. But to me, when you're making tough decisions, see, to me, Riley, this is where I'm going to have to decide. I have the Empire Strikes Back Vader. This guy, I have him right here. Actually, he's amazing. I love it. The problem is, do I want to sell it to get this one? Because as great as this head sculpt is, it's probably not going to be on my figure, right?
Right.
It's probably going to be a helmeted Darth Vader because I just prefer that look. Not that that sculpt is so beautiful. I almost feel bad keeping it in the box because it's so good. But when I look at it, I'm just like, well, I don't know. Is it more iconic than Empire Strikes Back Vader, which is probably the best Star Wars film ever made to most people? And one of the, and probably the most iconic Star Wars scene ever when he says, "I am your father." That is probably the number one scene that people point to when they talk about Star Wars, right? So if you're talking about Darth Vader, an iconic character, an iconic moment, I think people were sleeping on Empire a little bit. But Return of the Jedi, as far as a figure goes, this is stunning. And it comes with a lot. And the base is exceptional. And it has a USB light-up lightsaber, which we still don't really know how those are going to be, but we're excited about it. But that's why, Riley, this is a tough conversation. Because I do think this is in theory, Ultimate Vader, but Kenobi has it beat on uniqueness. I think Empire has it beat on iconography, I guess would be the word, in terms of how iconic it is, I think. And then Return of the Jedi, I mean, of course, is the massive finale in a huge film. But as far as a figure goes, this is a pretty unique figure. So you really cannot go wrong at the end of the day, right?
Right.
There's so many good options. But Riley, with you, how many Vaders do you think you're going to have? Like maybe 2, 3?
Exactly. I was going to say I'm kind of in your boat because I love Vader, but do I love Vader enough to have 3 Vaders? I feel like that's just overkill for me in my eyes. I know other people can collect all Vaders and go ham, but I feel like just having 2 in my eyes, like that's it. I don't want to push that and get 3. And I already have the Empire Strikes Back. Actually, that was my first ever hot toy that I ever got. And it was a gift. It was gifted by my parents. That's when I started collecting hot toys. So I'm never selling that. That Empire Strikes Back staying home. So now the question is, do I go with the Return of the Jedi or do I go with the Kenobi? And sad to say it, this is such an amazing figure, but it's hard it's hard because I don't want 3 Vaders.
Riley, this figure,
the Empire Strikes Back is
this figure is very good.
So good.
This is and the base. This is a really, really good figure. I'm still trying to figure out how to pose him.
Right.
Honestly.
No,
because he doesn't articulate that well, but
yeah, for sure. But like I said, like I had to honestly just choose between the Return of the Jedi and the Kenobi, and I feel like I have to go with the Kenobi. But I don't want to skip on this. It's so hard because it looks so good.
I know.
But I don't want 3. Like I don't want 3 on the shelf. I feel like that's gonna look like that's just too many Vaders to me on my shelf. I want to have just 2. But it would also be cool to have the Kenobi, then you have the Empire Strikes Back, and then you have the Return of the Jedi. But like that's just so many, man. I think sad to say it, I might have to just go with the Kenobi, keep my Empire Strikes Back and maybe skip on this. Maybe get the sculpt like on a second hand, like just get only the head sculpt, but it's tough.
Well, that's why this is tough, Riley, because it's almost too iconic of a figure to pass on, but it's almost like, but I have an iconic Vader and I'm going to have another iconic Vader with Kenobi, even though the show wasn't that great, but it's a unique looking Vader. Right. Totally. So it's kind of like, where does this one fit in? But for a lot of people have gone absolutely crazy about this. I can say when I put that preview up for this and C3PO, I was shocked with how many views and how much traffic it got in terms of comments. Crazy. And I was like, dude, people are amped about this release. So I'm so excited for people to be getting this because this is just, it's beautiful, bro. It's beautiful. There's no doubt about it. This figure is stunning, but it's just a matter of like, where do we draw the line for some of us collectors? How many Vaders do we need in our collection? I'm glad this exists. I am absolutely fucking thrilled this exists because this is stunning. And I really, really want it, but I'm just struggling internally. Like, do I need 3 Darth Vaders? Like,
yeah, same exact boat.
when because basically if you get the 3rd Darth Vader, I feel like at that point you almost have to put the head sculpt on him because they're gonna all look too similar. Where it's gonna be like, what's the point? So I don't know, but you know, for the diehard Star Wars fan, yeah, that you need 3 Darth Vaders. But for like a pretty active Star Wars fan like myself, 2 I think does the job. But that's why for now I'm not getting this, but I'm very tempted. And when it comes out, I do really want it. Maybe I'll sell this Empire Vader, but for now, I just love this Empire Vader. I just love it.
So good, man. I love the Empire. But yeah, maybe switch it from this. Well, down the road you'll find out. But it's a tough choice. They're all so amazing, so it's tough.
And with Kenobi, man, look, guys, what I would say, so one thing I will say, I'm on the wait list for the exclusive version for this. So if you are considering canceling, please do so I can take your spot.
Wow.
But if you're, in all seriousness, don't cancel this Vader if you're gonna get it, because I really do think it's something special. And I saw a comment about Rebels. Yeah, I do understand that happened in Rebels, but but at the end of the day, as far as a figure goes, I don't know that you're gonna get another half-masked Darth Vader anytime soon.
I doubt it. But like you said, some people have I've saw comments like, "Oh, I canceled my Kenobi because this one's just so good." Like I canceled the Kenobi Vader.
Right.
Well,
I hope my wait list converts, Riley.
Yeah, maybe it will after this one's announced. We'll see.
Yeah, because I'm definitely getting that Kenobi Vader. That's probably my favorite Darth Vader I've ever seen. Yeah, but 100%. Guys, Riley, before we move on, let's talk about this helmet real quick. People seem to think this is a little bit gimmicky, I've seen. So I want to see what the chat thinks too. Riley, would you use this helmet? That's the question.
So it's a really good question. I think that honestly, it's like really cool to see. But I think, people are kind of right. Like it is something like you put it on, you'll take a photo of it, or you'll post it on your Instagram or your YouTube or whatever, get a pose out of it. But at the end of the day, to keep it in this head sculpt on the body for like months over time, I don't think I would do that personally. I think that you got to go with either the sculpt or you got to go with just the regular helmet of Darth Vader because, like the little plastic lightning around his head, it does look a little gimmicky. I wouldn't display it like that. Maybe just the light up. But again, if you don't have the lights on, it might look a little bit more dull in your collection when you just have it just sitting there without the light up. And I feel like you got to have this lit up. But again, I would just do it maybe for a photo. But at the end of the day, it might just be one of those ones that just sit in the box. But the deluxe one also like comes with the little like arms where you can display the helmets, which is pretty cool. They include that. So you can display all 3 if you really did want to. But I bet most collectors would probably leave this in the box.
Yeah, I think so too, Riley. But that kind of defeats what we always say of, get the deluxe when you can. Right? It's kind of like, well, are you going to use this or not? And we have a special guest.
Oh, look!
Oh my God,
dude,
Optical. How many Darth Vaders are you going to collect?
All of them.
Is that what it is? Because Optical, we're deciding if this is truly the ultimate Darth Vader. How many Darth Vaders do we need? I saw in your preview you don't have one currently, so this is coming home for you, right?
Oh yeah, this is the one. Like I get it for Star Wars, I guess fans to. Because there's certain, I don't know, man. Because it doesn't feel like it's a lot of difference between this and Kenobi one. I guess the battle damage chest piece. I'm not an expert when it comes to Star Wars, so people are gonna point out it's like, oh, the tunic is inside out.
Yeah, right.
The tusk is not golden.
Yeah, it's painted a little more.
Yeah,
weathered.
Sorry, man. I don't know that. They all look the same to me. But for me, just as casual as I could be, a Star Wars fan, this is the one. Like. The Kenobi one was the one when it was announced. but
Optical, look at this though.
Nah, bro.
Look at this.
That one. Come on.
Look at this. Ooh, that's unique. That's unique, Optical. And this one makes it tough. This one makes it really tough.
But you get more bang for your buck for the other one. I guess the real question for me is, could I wait another 3 years for another Vader?
Right. See?
The Kenobi one is closer to releasing, and I haven't had a Vader for like a year and a half now. I guess that's the real question, because the thing is, once this comes out, well, it was already announced, so the Kenobi Vader 2 years from now is not going to have any. I can't tell that, like I won't be able to. If you ask me now, I want this more than that, but can I wait 2 years?
Right.
That's the only question.
Well, that's a really good point. I think a lot of people that's going to happen to. I think a lot of people are going to be like, you know what, I'm going to get the Return of the Jedi one, but then the Kenobi one drops, and people are like, fuck, yeah, I'm going to pick it up, and that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. So, but Optical, it's probably, I think in theory, it's truly the ultimate Darth Vader, because what more could you really want, right? But as far as Kenobi, I just feel like it's so unique. That's where I gravitate, you know? But
Yeah,
It
you make a
is.
good
It
point with the
is.
2 different display options with the damage, and then you could also do the clean. Like, you could do both. So that's a
right.
good point. Yeah.
You can. Yeah. And I could see people maybe selling, like Toy Anxiety might sell the body or something. And people would be like, oh, absolutely, I would go crazy for that. Because then you could put the other helmet on the body. This could be, one of those. Like, like with Hot Toys Pennywise, for example, if, a second body would have been great for the second head sculpt, right? So stuff like that. But yeah, this is great. But you can do that with the Return of the Jedi one too. But Optical, look at that, bro. That's just so.
That is just nice. Plus, I don't know, man. Like, for just 2 years,
Right.
it's gonna be 3 years that I don't have a Vader at that point. That's why I can't take a picture of him. But I can't say anything because I have like 7 Iron Mans, and to a casual fan, 3 of them looks really the same.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Between 6, 7, and 3. Us who has keen eye, I was like, well, the arc reactor is not triangle on this one. But to a normal person, it was just, dude, like, how many Iron Mans do you need? So with here, if like you just ask me, this is D1, but I can see the argument having to own 3 or 4, like the display options too. So,
Right.
but like, bang for your buck. This is what, like $30 more. You get the steps, you get 3
Yep.
head sculpts. The other ones, this one's really unique too, because it does have that LED head sculpt, which is probably not needed, but it's still cool anyway.
Right.
So that is unique. So it looks like a shrunken down quarter scale, but with less, like price wise, and with more stuff. So I don't know, man. I can do a lot with that stairs too. Like,
well, Optical, it's a good problem to have for us collectors. And Riley, as we wrap this one up, I mean, it's a really good problem to have, because there's so many good Darth Vader options out there, and really
Right.
any Darth Vader you have, trust me, guys, if you put any of these Darth Vaders on your shelf, no one is going to walk in your collection room and be like, oh, you have fucking A New Hope. It's like you don't have Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary. Like,
Right.
besides one of us, obviously, but
It's still Vader. Yeah.
But I will say, as far as eye popping on the shelf, it's Kenobi. Like, if you had a person walk into your collection room, which Vader would they look at more? It would be Kenobi. It would be the split mask, because that one just is just like a work of art. But, and also, we collectors tend to like battle damage a lot. I think eventually, as far as what the Thanoses are, I think the one that will be the most sought after eventually will be battle damage Thanos, because people love battle damage. Look at battling Cap, right? I think you could say that with other figures too. Battle damage Iron Man stuff too, people seem to like. So
Totally.
I don't know. Pretty exciting. We could go on about this all day, but I want to wrap this one, because we got so many great topics to hit on.